Hi, this is Dan, and in this session, we're going to just take some time to completely relax and reset our nervous system, which we might find has become stuck in fight and flight in a very active, aware, and stimulated state. So, over the next 30 minutes, we will just follow a simple set of instructions that will help us to just ease back into that rest and digest state of nervous system where we feel calm, at ease, and safe. First thing is to make sure that your body is as comfortable as possible. So grab any cushions, blankets, or pillows that you might need so that your body doesn't become a distraction. You probably want to lie down for this session, maybe with the knees slightly bent and a cushion underneath the knees. But if you're sitting in a chair or lying in a bed, that's perfectly fine as well. We're going to pass through various parts of the body and focus in on various senses. And all you need to do is follow my voice, keeping it as a thread that connects your awareness, even though it may feel as if the mind and the body are deeply asleep. So start by just taking a couple of moments to find an awareness of where you are right now, not just geographically, but just noticing where you are mentally today, emotionally, whether you're feeling settled, whether maybe there's a busy day coming up and you're already thinking ahead to it. This awareness of our current state is really useful and really important if we're going to change those habits that we have in our life into more positive ones. We all have a mixture of both, but just being aware of how we feel is incredibly useful. How is the body feeling? Does it feel still, settled? Or would you label what you're experiencing as unsettled, agitated? Or is there a mixture? Maybe somewhere on that continuum. And how the body feels will guide many of our reactions. on those days when the body feels settled and calm, our reactions will tend to be more level. But on days when maybe our digestive system is not so settled, or our breath or our heartbeat faster than normal, our reactions will tend to follow. They might be more snappy, more irritable. So just drawing an awareness to what we're feeling in the body can help us to break that spontaneous reacting that we're constantly doing. Just gives us a pause to step back for a moment. We're just going to take 5 or so breaths, counting downwards, slightly different breaths to normal. Breathing in as normal. But as we breathe out, we're just going to break it into 2 segments. So we exhale halfway, take a pause, and then we exhale the rest of the way. But it's not forceful, it's still a passive exhalation. We're just allowing the breath to trickle out. But the out breath is just broken into 2 steps. So we actively inhale, only has to be gentle, and then we just let go of the out breath halfway, and then we take a pause, and then we exhale or allow the other half of the breath to leave the body. And those 2 exhales may be tiny, not long in any way. They might be barely a puff of air. But each one just allows the body to let go of tension. With each one, the shoulders fall further from the ears. The body rests more heavily in the floor or the sofa or the bed. We just give ourselves up to gravity. We stop struggling. We stop resisting. Breathing in, and then 2 short breaths out. All other distractions starting to melt away, dissolve. Mental activity, thoughts, plans just starting to fade into the background. Now find the breath at the very tip of your nose. The place where it's entering and leaving the nostrils. Taking all of your awareness or attention to that tiny area. Noticing any sensations you can feel as the breath moves through the left and the right nostril. Noticing if one nostril is more clear than the other. Aware of any sound, however slight that might be, or faint. So for a while, just holding your attention on the sound of the breath and the sensation of the breath at the very end of the nose. Allowing attention just to dissolve effortlessly between those two experiences. If you try to focus on both, it will feel really challenging. So just allow your attention to defocus or to soften so that it melts over both the experience of sensation and the experience of sound. Now pick out the one that's most obvious to you. It might be the sound of the breath, or it might be the feeling of it moving through the nose. But just focus back in on the one that's clearest. And now we're going to maintain a focus on that experience, but we're also going to add a second experience, which is the feeling of the lungs expanding and shrinking. You might feel that or notice that in the rib cage. Or you might notice that more in the belly area, rising and falling. Or there might be a mixture of both, or something in between. But again, you're going to split your focus between the first experience that you chose and also the movement of the lungs inflating inside the body. Once again, it will be very difficult to focus on both forcefully. We can't directly look at them both at the same time. So we just allow our attention to soften or melt like a heavy blanket, covering both of those areas. If you find that you've completely focused on one of those two experiences, just soften the focus. Notice what's happened. Allow the attention to relax. We're just going to let the attention move again. So take all of it to your left palm and your right palm, to the palms of both hands. Deeply experiencing any tingling or sensation in the palms of both hands. You may notice that one hand feels more alive, feels more active than the other. Maybe the sensations are different. It might feel as if one hand is enormous or tiny, or that both hands have no shape whatsoever, just a mass of sensation without any form. And we're going to split our focus again. This time we're going to split it between the hands and any sounds that we can hear, including my voice. Sounds of the breath, sounds inside your house, outside. If you find that you are being pulled more towards the sounds or more towards the sensation of the hands, just relax back. Stop trying. See that you don't have to try in any way to experience. There's nothing that you need to do to experience. Allow the senses to simply do their job of feeling or hearing, whilst you just settle back and experience those senses. If it feels natural to just completely let go of those two focus points, and just rest back completely in an awareness of everything and anything, then just allow that to happen. Almost like that point just before we fall asleep. But we don't allow the awareness or the knowing to fall asleep with the mind and with the body. The awareness stays very much aware. Whilst the mind and the body are totally at rest. This experience of being deeply rested, deeply still, is one that we can embody and take with us into the rest of our day. Once we know that we can touch that stillness, so much easier to locate it. Briefly make contact with it just during our normal day. So we take the benefits of the practice with us as we start to gently emerge, finding our breath again, noticing that it's been patiently waiting for us the entire time, breathing itself. No need for us to interfere. And when you find the breath, just gradually climbing, as if you're climbing up a silk thread, and you're climbing back into your physical body, taking 5 or so breaths upwards from 0. And with each breath, you reconnect with your body, with the space around you. Starting to notice any sensations again. The ground, the bed, or the surface beneath you. Any parts of the body in contact with other parts. Feeling a gentle wiggle start to re-emerge in the fingers and the toes. Maybe gradually growing into a bigger stretch, or rubbing the hands or the face, or whatever feels most natural for you. Whenever you feel ready, just allowing the eyes to start cracking open. And remembering it can take some time to come out of this sort of deeply rested, slightly dreamy state. So just allow that to happen slowly. Don't need to rush it. And most importantly, knowing that we can return to this whenever we need to. It's always there.